Hello there. Let me just persuade it to show me the chat. There we are. And welcome to the land of Minecraft 1.12.2. As I mentioned, we're going to take a little bit of a detour to this version for a while. And we spawned sort of about a couple of chunks over to the northwest, but I moved it over here to a little village that's a bit dead now because zombies, but and people being logged on in. Villagers are very bad. Villagers are very bad at staying alive if you haven't put a lot of effort into looking after them, and we haven't. So we've got like 3 villagers left in this village. I mean, it's by world spawn, so it's always loaded whether we're here or not. So unfortunate for them. But anyway, yeah, we set up briefly in this little house here, but we've moved pretty much everything out now. Let me just show you the world. It's a very I love World Gen so much more in 12.2. It has to be said. I have set up over here in the desert, in this sort of area here. So I've got a bit of mountain. What's the mountain? Is that Alps? Yeah, it's Alps, and we've got magical forest from Thorncraft, and I think temperate rainforest over here. PVH is down here, and as usual, she's done a lot more than I have already. So she's got some autumnal forest, and I think coniferous forest. And Ari is just getting set up, and she's over in the savannah. I think over here. I think she's in a bit that I haven't actually uncovered yet. But anyway, let me wander down to where I actually am. That house there is from forestry, and all forestry houses always use one of the fancy forestry woods, so they're easy to spot, and they're lovely green. I think I've already plundered these hives. Yeah, I've taken the bees out of there. I didn't steal the bee houses because I'm nice like that. This is the version with all the bees, and it's my happy place. So yeah, I'm not very far from world spawn at all. We decided to try not to go very far this time. But as you can see, one of the things I love about World Gen in this version is just it's a big old jumble of at least the way I have it set up. I can't remember how I set this up because I created this 3 years ago. But you have lots of lovely flat bits, and then lots of lovely big old. Even though this is using the original height. So the world only goes between 0 and 256, I think. You still get much nicer looking mountains and cliffs to build into. And the biomes are much more varied in that you can have cold bits next to hot bits, and I mean, which obviously makes no sense in the real world, but it makes for much more fun. Other than just expanses of everything being temperate and expanses of everything being cold, and I don't need that level of realism. And as you can see, I've set up my supply camp. There is only one supply camp in 12.2, and it is this one. I've already taken some of the stuff down, and I'm running out of supply space, so I've set up some storage drawers. I'll go into them I use these in pretty much every Minecraft version because I'm a visual organised sort of person. I like to just be able to see everything I've got, and this will hold. I haven't upgraded. I mean, this is the basic version. I haven't upgraded it at all. You can upgrade it to be much bigger, but that'll hold 64 stacks of dirt. Obviously, I'm doing a rather bit of a sand, and the town hall I have placed, and it is. Actually, I should probably sleep. we actually have it set so that colonists aren't attacked by monsters in this version, because it can be a lot feistier. It's not at the moment. At the moment, we're not getting a lot of monsters on the surface at all, because the monster cap's being eaten up by various structures and things in the vicinity. Hello, Casey Batman. Well, yeah, structures in the vicinity. But once those are dealt with, there'll be a bit more going on. Anyway, I didn't want to place the builder until I was streaming, so now is time. And I can actually get going on this. Mine colonies in this version is a lot more primitive, but it still gets the job done quite nicely. Now, I'm obviously using the sandstone theme style for the desert. So let's see what it looks like. Probably want to drop that down by 1. And I think there's an entrance around the back as well, but we'll have it facing this way for now. Let's move it around a little bit. I'm less focused on mine colonies in this version because I've got a lot more stuff to do. There's dinosaurs to resurrect and bees to breed, but I still like a little bit of a home base. Let's see, how's that looking? Oh, there is a river. There is a very thin river here, so I just want it. I may as well try and save as much space as I can for other things. So you'll hear the ambient mod. Very windy when you're in the mountains, but you can actually individually turn each sound off, and I probably will, or down. There's a volume control for every single sound in the ambient mod. So if the wind gets a bit much, and I think it probably is for me eventually, you can sort that out. I'm not entirely happy, but I think I will actually move it back a little bit more. I'm just a bit worried that they'll go out the back door and fall in the river. Okay, we'll call that a job. And who have we got? Tiago. And we need to find Tiago and make sure he's got some food, because these guys have been actually standing around for quite a while. Actually, he's probably, sometimes they fall down in the river. I've actually gone a few of them have died since I started, because I haven't done anything with them, and they just keep getting up on top of the town hall and then falling off. There we are. Let me make you some shovels and things, because you're gonna, yeah, it's been a little while, and he's not happy. So yeah, shovels and picks, and I think he can only use wood at this point until the actual builder's built. So we'll just make him a bunch of those. Wood is obviously a little bit of an issue around in these parts, but you can actually make cactus wood, so it'll sort itself out. What am I doing? There we are. keep him going for a minute. He's also probably starving because they're hungry folks in this version right from the start. In 20.1, how much they eat seems to be dependent on the level of the building, but alright, and I will just clear these cactus for him. Oh, don't fall on him! Oh, he's fine. Fire lilies from ice and fire. And then, yeah, I'd better give him some food. How is he anyway? Oh, he's fine. But have a bit more. I have a stack of fish. He's the only one I need to feed at the moment anyway. Because they're not going to die of starvation. But though they do fall off, so I should probably give them something to eat.
I can help you with that.
I don't know if I can reach them. There we are. Everyone is fed. Now, yeah, we've got basically a great big desert town hall here, and then going through here. So basically, we've got some. Well, I'm going to be using the underground, the rather primitive underground style around here, and then we come out into the magical forest. I haven't quite decided exactly where I will emerge, and I'll do something appropriate to the forest as well because I want. So there'll be another builder down this end because it's. Oh yeah, that just came out there. That wasn't my best work. But I was just trying to figure out levels. I want to get a train. I want to get a rail network down to PVH and up to area at some point. But I tend to do that just above bedrock. There we go. Yeah, magical forest. I'm very fond of. Thermcraft has a sort of. You can't see it with your naked eye, but basically there's an aura level in the world around everywhere, and it sort of moves. The sort of magical energy moves from place to place, and magical forest is usually pretty strong for it, and you need it for doing the Thermcraft magic. So I'm very fond of it of magical forest, and I have its rarity or commonality quite high in the weight, so it turns up quite a lot in the world. But it's not very dangerous, and it's got these lovely great trees using dynamic trees again, and so I can just take this tree down and get 34 wood pretty darn quickly. You don't need if you're using dynamic trees, you do not need those mods that give you tree capitators. That was actually faster than I expected. And I'll just plant a new one because I'm good like that. Now, great wood logs. Not actually a lot of use for mine colonies, but they're pretty great for most of everything else. So the other Thermcraft's one thing I like to do. I'm also doing a bit of Electro Blob's wizardry. Can't really get started with that at the moment because I haven't got quite enough lapis. I've made myself a wand, but I can't. So where's my wand? Over here in the slightly primitive Traveller's Backpack version we have here, I'm trying to build myself an arcane workshop for Electroblob's wizardry, but I need a full block of lapis still, and I haven't fished enough up yet. I mean, I could go clambering around in the darkness, but I like fishing. I did fish up enough emeralds to make myself an emerald sword, so which is a thing in this particular version. I mean, I don't know what mod it comes from, but actually, I can probably find out very easily. Actually, Editions gives you emerald weapons and armor and tools. Hey, how are you getting on, me old mate? Oh, Tiago, he's on the job. Now, what am I looking for? There we are. Actually, I think PVH might have been looking for that page earlier, but I forgot it was hidden behind that. But yeah, as you can see, he's going to want a load of cactus wood, which fortunately I've got. I don't know if I've got any birch though. I mean, that will not be a greatly difficult thing to find, but I don't think I've got any in the immediate vicinity. Another mod I love that's never made it to later versions is Astral Sorcery, and I am also trying to get started in that, but I need an ender pearl, and because there isn't a lot of spawn going on the surface, as you can see, I do not have an ender pearl. I'm not too worried about the monster spawn. Because I'm pretty sure they are spawning underground. And we've got quite a lot of structures in this setup as well. So that's just soaking them all up. I know there's if I go over to my little fishy hole over here. Well, I planted a little bit of sugar cane. Over here, Applied Energistics. Applied Energistics is a very brutal mod as far as world gen is concerned. Once you've generated everything else, it drops these blooming great meteors on everything. And as you can see, I'm by one. There's another one over there. Another one there. A bit of a row. And yeah, there's a couple more there. Sometimes you get lava. And here in the desert, it turns some of the sand to glass. So yeah, sometimes they'll land on a village or something else you actually quite cared about, or would have cared about if you'd ever been able to get to it. And unfortunately, it doesn't really let you change the commonality of that. I don't think in this version, which is a bit awkward. But it's quite a fun mod in other ways. Skystone, I won't be able to get into at the moment. As you see, it needs harvest level 3, but there's some bits and bobs in the middle of the meteor for yet another storage system. But also some other fun stuff. I love the palm trees. Obviously, this is a biome. The oasis is a biomes of plenty. Sort of sub mod for the desert, and the useful thing about palm trees is that you can plant them on sand. I actually planted a regular non-biomes of plenty one around the corner over here just to see what it looked like. Not as good, to be honest, but it's still. But that's what you get when you're not using dynamic trees. It's still not bad. It's it's about as good as you're going to get it really from the regular blocks. This is from ancient sorcery, I think. Ancient spellcraft, which is an Electroblob's wizardry mod. We've found various versions of this around the world. with the swirly purple pattern. Basically, you can't get in. There's an arcane barrier, and it can only be dispelled by a scroll of unsealing, which naturally we do not have at the moment. But there's basically a little library inside with, I assume, some rare spell books. I have fished up a few spell books. You basically put the spell books into your wand, and then go pew pew pew, or whatever. There's healing spells. There's all sorts of spells. However, they're not identified. So finding out what they are is all for the first time when you cast them is always entertaining. The general rule is always cast it at on somebody you don't like. First of all, or maybe a pig. But yeah, this is my little fishing hole over here, and catching my spell books, and I've got some bees set up as well. I also have some different bees over there. Now, at the moment, I can only make bee houses. How should I discuss this? As if these are water bees, they came out. These are just came from a water hive that I found in a lake over at Worldspawn. And you can't actually breed new bee species in a bee house. You need an apiary, and I don't have the bits to build that yet because it needs some machinery. But they'll still chug along in a bee house and make me some honeycomb and more drones. So I've got my water bees. I've got some meadow bees over here in the wetland. I'll be able to plant some swamp marshy bees around here as well. Different bees have different requirements of temperature, humidity, and also what flowers they like. For instance, the water bees need lily pads. Maybe some other things, but lily pads work. Whereas the plains bees are rather more basic, and they're happy with some flowers. Back over there, we've got I forget what they're called, but desert bees basically, and they need cactus. Mundane bees, I think maybe. Is that what they're called? I planted a whole bunch of cactus over here for. The dynamic cactus look way better, but don't grow very fast compared with regular cactus. So, and I'm going to need a lot. I hate these little tiny cactus that are everywhere. Oh, am I full? Well, that's not great. Let's go sort that out then. So, now, that's my inventory at the moment. What I can do is if I double right click on this draw controller, everything that I've everything I've put a section 4 in is removed and placed into storage. And also works with these backpacks. I don't know whether I've got anything in here that actually, yes I do. If I crouch, right click, and they've gone into storage, and I just find this very, very useful for just keep. I need things organised. It's amazing. In the real world, I am the most disorganised, chaotic person ever. But in games, my true self emerges, and everything's perfectly in place. I mean, I'm actually displeased at. Basically, to begin with, I always just throw things in a bit of a jumble, because once I actually, this is not staying here, obviously. Once I have somewhere to actually set up a proper storage area, each of these little ones is going to get moved to it's all in more of a sensible order. But I mean, I try and do what I can. But when you're just finding bits and bobs everywhere, and you don't have an infinite number of these drawers, it works without a drawer controller. But that's just really good for being able to throw everything in, and you can also stick one of those Tom's consoles like we were using for the warehouse block on it, and from Tom's Simple Storage, and access it all that way. And you can create a huge room full of these things, and I frequently do, because it's glorious to see all your ores and metals and cogs and things all in a giant wall of glorious tinkery. Anyway, now I have space. I was lucky enough to fish up a couple of the bits you need to make those. So I have my graves. We've been playing a few days, but I've just been fishing mostly because I've been feeling a bit under the weather, and I also wanted to wait until you were with me before doing anything too interesting. Not that I don't find fishing absolutely interesting, but modest, not mundane. There we go. There are a lot of different sorts of hive. I mean, wild hive. There are end bees and nether bees, and there's actually a rocky hive that PVH saw that I need to go and gobble up. Oh, hello. Did I accidentally hit you? Aye! I didn't even notice it was there. But I think I annoyed it. They're quite harmless as long as you don't accidentally hit them when you're harvesting cactus. But the good thing about the Cipitera come in, or Cicatera? Yeah, I don't think I got it right the first time. Their shells basically count as dye, and they come in a variety of colours depending on the biome. So I think we get white and red ones around here. And then there are magical bees. This is one of the three sorts of wild magical bees. Oh, because it's night, they're not attacking me. Nighttime is the time to do your bee scooping. I'll just nip over here and get that one as well. Oh God, that was really dumb. Oh. Yeah, I should have used a smoker. I never do, obviously. But, well, that wasn't my finest moment. I didn't notice my health. Yeah, I need to be a little careful here because I spotted... let's get that first. There we are. Yeah, I do have a Apris backpack, so let's sort that out first. So we've got space to grab a traveler's backpack, which sadly you can't just crouch and click. Now I saw a mimic spawn. Yeah. Sometimes when you die around here, you get from a completely unrelated mod. You get these fellas. Look like a chest, not a chest. Not going to try and open you, mate. I'm going to... You get mimic crabs. I think they can just I think it's just the dropping of the containers placing of the containers makes the other mod then decide it's time to put a mummy crab there. Just an interesting unintended mod interaction. So anyway, actually, I think I have some. I think I might have some birch seeds somewhere. I've definitely encountered birch, autumnal birch. That'll do. Yeah, that's just a slight variant with different coloured leaves, but it still gives you birch wood. That's a parrot from. Oh God, what is that? Not enough pets, I think. Which made a little village pet shop in a village in a swamp, sort of over that way. And there was some macaws, so I tamed one. Because why not? I was about to do something. I was going to click this again, just to get rid of these dreadful little... The tiny cactus, they hurt you when you walk over them, and they're quite common, so I tend to just vaporize them as I see them. Right, I'm just going to go and plant this autumnal birch catkin. That probably will not grow fast enough for my liking, so I will have to go and find some more. But it's good to get one set up for now. Or maybe I should actually turn it into a... Yeah, I am. I am going to grab my bucket of dirt, which you make with just a bucket and some dirt. I can then turn this into a regular autumn yellow sapling, which I'm hoping is still birch. Otherwise I shall be sad. It looks birchy. And so this is... While I love dynamic trees, for some species you do have to be ready for it to take a bit longer to actually get the wood you need, or you just plant loads of them. So, I mean, ideally you just plaster the area around your forester with them, and that'll keep them busy well enough. But obviously, around here, bit tree deprived. I mean, these stupid little things, which are basically a very, very tiny, ugly jungle tree variety. And you've got the palm trees, which are great, but not a lot of use for mine colonies. I don't have any bone meal on me anyway, so... But that'll sort itself out in a minute or so. I don't think I'm going to need an awful lot of birch. These things, they're from Pam's Harvest Craft. You get them in different biomes. These are the arid ones. And they contain various biome-specific foods. I just got some chickpeas from there, and I'm not... What else was there? They all leapt into my foresting backpack. Oh yeah, cactus fruit. I think yes. And you get agave. I think cassava might be desert, and sisal. And sisal is also a one you can make thread out of. So and they spread. They don't just. They're not just. They obviously they appear in the world gen, but then they do spread. So they are renewable, but they're generally the idea is that you plant the crops of your choice and grow more. But if you're just lazy, you can just poke them as you're walking past, and you'll get enough to live on, unless you've got colonists to feed, which I do. Anyway, that is the state of play as things stand. Oh, you got to see me die from bees, so that's all good. Let's just get rid of that. We do not need to collect death waypoints. Oh, I will just show you this actually. This fountain over here is part of astral sorcery. And it is one of the ways that you get your initial bits to get started. Under one of the pillars of each fountain, maybe it's more. Maybe it's more than one pillar sometimes, but at least one pillar. I always check them all anyway, because that's just how I am. There's a chest under one of them. I've already looted this one, but I will. Can I remember which one had? I think it was this one round the corner. Astral Sorcery also comes with its own rather nice pillar, and the marble comes in all sorts of flavours actually. Oh great, that's gone into my building backpack, hasn't it? That was not the case when I was here last. Or possibly my digging backpack. Because I like to put it back the way it was. So I don't like leaving a mess. Oh well, anyway, take my word for it. There's a chest underneath one of them. Look. And it's always the last one you look at. Always the last one you check. There we go. Oh, okay, I totally lied. I hadn't checked this one. That would be why I couldn't remember where it was. Probably. Boom. Okay, that one had diamonds in. The things that as in, you can somehow you can get diamonds, you can get gold. You can sometimes get ender pearls because, like I said, it needs ender pearls for. Oh, where did that go? Okay, didn't like that for some reason. There we are. And now it's back the way it was to confuse anyone who. I confused myself because I assumed I'd already done that one because it was like right next to my house. Well, yes, you can sometimes find ender pearls in there as well, which is obviously lovely because you need that to make the altar that you need. And something else that's from Astral Sorcery is these aquamarines, which also come in very handy, and they're generally in sand underwater. And you'll find them in the fountains as well. Now, you might think you do need a lot of marble for Astral Sorcery, but it's a fairly common rock, so I prefer not to tear the fountains apart. The only thing that sometimes tempts me is the I forget what it's called, but the fancy prismarine light source in the middle. Which I sometimes want to steal, but I try very hard not to. As I said, I prefer not to uglify my world if I can avoid it. Well, anyway, yes, as I was saying before, I got distracted by all that. That is the state of play. When I get an ender pearl, and when I get a full block of lapis, I will show you what I need to do with them. But for now, I am going to sign off, and I hope that was vaguely interesting. 12.2 still works very well. I said the reason I'm here is because there are mods that that basically didn't really get much further beyond this point, but they were amazing and honestly a lot better than some of the mods we have in 20.1. On the other hand, you also have mods that were just starting out, like mine colonies, that haven't quite evolved to the same point, and sadly were not updated not updated for this version. But such is life. Marigolds from Doggy Talents. In 20.1 we have Doggy Talents next. Doggy Talents is once again slightly more primitive, but I still want my little doggy friend. So she is there, and she is looking after me. Anyway, yes, I'll see you next time. What am I pressing? I'm pressing this